Member for Baulkham Hills seeks leave. Is leave granted? Leave granted. I call the member for Baulkham Hills.
Mr Deputy Speaker, I also rise to make a contribution, and as most of the Hunter Valley MPs know, I try to write myself into the Hunter Valley script, given that my family have lived up there for since the 1860s. But that's not the reason that I make this contribution, Mr Deputy Speaker. I knew Tony professionally like the member for Dubbo is, and it was 20 years this year that as a university graduate I decided to make an honest career out of the New South Wales Police Media Unit. And that was in 1993. That's when I met Tony, who was the media liaison officer based in Newcastle. Tony was, as members have described him, larger than life. And I remember as a 23-year-old working in the police media unit with those tough seasoned coppers, particularly in the Hunter Valley, Tony was one of those reassuring figures that would be happy to put his arm around you and give you some sage advice, particularly when you're under the pump. I was always in awe about how much the media respected him in the Hunter Valley, particularly in Newcastle. I don't think that there was an incident in Newcastle which Tony was not in control of. And if he wasn't in control of it, particularly so far as the police operations are concerned and the broader emergency services portfolio, he used to hide it very, very well. There were always those unwritten rules in police media relationships, and nods and winks and the like. And I suspect that Tony perfected that very early in his career, because neither the police commanders nor the media ever seemed to really give him a hard time. And I'm conscious of the charitable work that he did. I'm conscious of the fact that he'd been in the job for 35 years. But the media had very much embraced him as one of their own. And when you're in PR, Mr Acting Speaker, you know the greatest way to make yourself free of spin, or the accusation of spin, is to be written into the script and is to be seen as one of the media's, and he certainly did that. Whether it was floods and storms, emergencies, or indeed it was a serious crime, Tony had a human face to the New South Wales Police. And I'll never forget, at the time that I started the New South Wales Police, my wife Nicole also started in the media unit. And even though we were both young single people, Tony and I and Nicole would often go to police events, and he'd tell me that it was a scandal that I was going out with the superintendent's daughter. And I remember not long after we got married, Tony said, "It's still a scandal that you've married the superintendent's daughter." And he was that way inclined. He could talk to people from all levels of society. Can I just conclude by touching on something the member for Wallsend said? If I know Tony well, I know that he would be horrified to think that we're going to leave his wife and kids without support, love, prayers, and indeed encouragement. Tony was a father to so many people, and now I think the people of the Hunter and the police family need to take a leaf out of his book, and we need to be family to his children, to his wife. We're all sitting here depressed and sad and mourning over the fact that we've lost a great stalwart of the community, and who's going to pick up the slack. But there's a family now with 6 kids that have got an even bigger hole. And so I join with the member for Wallsend in making sure that that family is aware that this Parliament is conscious of the fact that they are now in mourning, that they are without a father, and if there is anything that we can do to encourage the police or the Hunter Valley to support them, we will do that. Valet Tony Tamplin.
The question